In one of these patches of sunlight, a leopard cub, no larger than a house cat, was absorbed in play. With a clumsy pounce, he launched himself at his quarry, a blue morpha butterfly that fluttered just out of reach. He tumbled into a pile of dry leaves as the prize danced away. Undeterred, the ball of spotted fur and boundless energy writhed free and prepared for the next chase from a nearby bough. His mother watched in silence, her form perfect camouflage in the shadows. Only her amber eyes glowed with warmth, and a low, resonant purr rumbled in her chest, a sound of pure contentment. In this moment, the world was perfect. And then the world shattered. The sky didn't darken, but shifted from brilliant blue to an eerie, jaundiced yellow. The air grew heavy and still. Then a moan began, swelling into a howl. It was not rain, it was wind. It shrieked through the jungle, lashing the trees and tearing leaves from their branches. The cub, terrified, scrambled to his mother's legs as she scanned the chaos for shelter. A sickening crack tore through the gale's roar. The mother's head snapped up. A tall, slender tree groaned, the sound of tortured wood, and then began to fall, slowly at first, then with terrible speed. It struck the ground with a thunderous impact that shook the earth. The mother's heart stopped. She had instinctively leaped aside, and now her son was gone. Frantically searching the swirling dust, a silent question, "Where is he?" was answered by a thin, terrified cry from beneath the fallen trunk. In a heartbeat, she sprinted to the massive log and froze. The sight was a nightmare. Her son's hind legs were trapped fast beneath a large branch jutting from the main trunk. He twitched feebly, his front claws digging uselessly into the mud as he cried out in pain and terror. Primal instinct took over. She dug frantically at the earth around the branch, but quickly realized the futility. She switched tactics, sinking her fangs into the rough bark and pulling with all her strength, her neck and shoulder muscles screaming in protest. The tree did not budge a millimeter. She, a queen of this jungle, an apex predator, was utterly helpless against the inanimate wood. The cub's desperate cries and the mother's frustrated snarls attracted an uninvited guest. Slinking from the undergrowth, a jackal emerged. Its sly eyes took in the scene in a single, calculating glance. A distracted mother, a small and helpless victim. This was a golden opportunity. The mother leopard's head snapped up, her amber eyes now blazing with fire. All despair incinerated by pure primal fury. Asterisk protect the child. Asterisk the fur on her spine stood up like bristles as she moved with fluid speed, placing her body squarely between the jackal and her son. A growl, a low, guttural promise of death, rumbled from deep within her chest. The jackal hesitated, but the scent of weakness and potential food was strong. It began to circle, looking for an opening. The mother gave it none. With a final explosive roar of pure rage, she launched herself forward. It was not an attack meant to kill, but a terrifying demonstration of speed and power. The jackal yelped in panic, tumbled backward, and scrambled away, vanishing back into the jungle. The foe was gone, but the true enemy remained. She stumbled back to her cub, nudging his fur, now matted with mud. He was weaker, his cries fading to whimpers. She looked at the immovable log, and a terrible, crushing despair washed over her, nearly buckling her legs. She had defeated a living predator, but was powerless against a dead tree. In that darkest moment, when all hope seemed lost, an instinct-defying idea formed in her mind. She had to get help from the creatures she had been taught her whole life to fear and avoid. She gave her son one last pain-filled caress with her tongue, a silent vow that she would return, and then she ran. She abandoned her post, abandoned her trapped child, and engaged in a desperate race against time. She followed a faint trail, one carrying a strange scent, metal, smoke, and man. Her lungs burned, but she did not slow. Then she heard it, a low mechanical rumble. A jeep, with two rangers inside. Without a shred of hesitation, she burst from the undergrowth like a spotted missile and planted herself directly in the middle of the muddy track. The jeep screeched to a halt, the two men inside shouting in surprise. The mother leopard did not snarl. She did not cower. She held her head high, looked directly into the driver's eyes, and let out a sharp, piercing cry. It was not a sound of aggression, but a clear, urgent plea. Then she turned, ran a few yards back the way she had come, stopped, and looked back, crying out again. The message was unmistakable. "Follow me." Inside the jeep, Rangers Liam and Ben were frozen in disbelief. "Did you just see that?" Ben whispered, his voice filled with awe. Liam nodded slowly, his hands gripping the steering wheel. "She's not threatening us," he said, his voice low. "She's asking for something." This was against every rule in their training, but what they were seeing with their own eyes was undeniable. Liam, a veteran who trusted his gut, made a decision. "Okay," he said, "let's see where this goes." He put the jeep in gear and inched it forward. The leopard acted as their guide, always staying a safe distance ahead, constantly glancing back to ensure they were still following. Finally, she stopped at the edge of a clearing and waited. As the rangers stepped out of the vehicle, they saw the scene of devastation, the long fallen tree and the tiny trapped cub. It all clicked into place. "My God," Ben breathed. They wasted no time. Liam signaled to Ben, a quick plan forming between them without a word. Ben rushed back to the jeep for the chainsaw while Liam cautiously approached, kneeling to assess the situation. He analyzed the angle of the branch, the position of the cub. "We have to cut from this side," he yelled, so it doesn't roll onto him. From a distance, the mother watched, every muscle coiled like a spring. When Ben pulled the cord and the chainsaw roared to life with a deafening shriek, she flinched, a worried growl rumbling in her chest. But her amber eyes were locked on their actions. She saw that they were not moving toward her cub, but attacking her wooden enemy. A fragile hope began to war with her instinctual fear. Liam directed the cut, shouting over the engine's roar. Ben leaned in, the saw's sharp chain biting deep into the wood. Chips flew, and the air filled with the smell of gasoline and fresh sap. It was a slow, tense process. Finally, with a loud crack, the cut was complete. Immediately, they jammed a sturdy log underneath, using it as a lever. Sweat beaded on their foreheads, muscles straining as they put their full weight into it. With a final groaning creak, the branch lifted just a few inches, but it was enough. The cub was free. The on-call veterinary team arrived, moving with quiet efficiency. They gently placed a thermal blanket over the shivering cub and began their examination. The mother leopard watched every single touch. The verdict was a collective sigh of relief: severe bruising and exhaustion, but no broken bones. As the sedative wore off, the cub stirred. He wobbled to his feet and then did something that made everyone freeze. He ignored his mother. He walked directly to Liam, who was still kneeling nearby. He looked up at the man who had saved him and gently, purposefully rubbed his head against Liam's knee. A soft rumble of a purr started deep in his chest. A profound silence fell over the clearing. In that moment, there were no species, no barriers. There was only a rescuer and a life saved. The mother came forward, nudged her cub, and then lifted her head to look at Liam. Her amber eyes held his gaze for a long moment. In their depths, he saw intelligence, understanding, and a gratitude that transcended words. She then gently took her cub by the scruff of his neck, hoisted him onto her back, and without a sound, the two of them turned and vanished into the green cathedral of the jungle.